Good evening, folks. Elaine McDonald here at Lee Summit High School, along with.
Will Twinter?
Hey, Will, welcome back. We are here for the last home game of the season for Lee Summit High Tigers varsity. They are actually playing one of the best teams in the state. What do you think we're going to see tonight?
Number 2 ranked in all of Missouri, Staley Falcons. A tough one to go out on for sure for Mizzou. Lee Summit.
That's true, though, although I bet you some people are actually, a lot of us are going to Mizzou. Not me, but we'll be going to Mizzou for college. So we've got about a minute 43 before we start that game. We definitely want to take a listen to Paige Gregory, our sideline reporter. She's going to give us an update, and we'll be right back in about 30 seconds.
Thank you, and welcome to the last home game of the season here at LSHS Fieldhouse. In tonight's matchup, the 9-11 Lee Summit Tigers will take on the 22-2 Staley Falcons. Tonight is a conference game, and Staley is undefeated for the Suburban Silver Conference. Stay tuned for this game on TVTV8 Sports. Once again, I'm Paige Gregory.
All right, we are back. We've got about a minute and 5 seconds before we've got that tip-off. Obviously, we're going to have, our Star Spangled Banner coming up here in just a minute. But just a couple things. I just got done talking to the head coach of Staley, who, oddly enough, super nice guy. He was just telling me about this Staley team. No wonder they're so good. He said he has built this team up from basically when they were freshmen. So it's no surprise that they are number 2 in the state here in Missouri.
Yeah, definitely a really, really good group.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to tonight's
So right now we're just going to go ahead and listen to James Melody, who's going to go ahead and give us our starting lineups for both teams. So we'll go ahead and take a listen here right quick, and we'll be right back in about a minute and a half.
From both schools. This game is competitive. It is also an educational experience for all players and students. Let's continue to show respect to good sportsmanship throughout this contest. Refrain from any cheers, chants, or behavior. Thank you to fans from both schools for cooperation throughout the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this time, if you please stand and be wrapped as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, the colors are being presented by Lee Summit High School Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard, and the national anthem is being sung by LSHS Sounds of Summit member Grace Doyle.
Really nice rendition of the Star Spangled Banner from one of our students here at Lee Summit High School.
And now Sounds of Summit member Grace Doyle with the national anthem.
And Will definitely would know that since you were a part of that music program here at Lee Summit High. Thank you for that information. And so now we're going to take a couple seconds before we kind of get into the meat of this game tonight and what to expect. We're going to take a look at some of our starting lineups for both teams.
Senior number 0, Kyan Evans. Senior number 1, Larry Parker. Senior number 3, Cameron Manuel. Senior number 4, Caden Fish. Senior number 5, Jared Lee. And now for your Lee Summit Tigers. Falcons are coached by Chris Neff. Tigers are coached by Blake Little.
All righty, so here we are back. Again, I told you I talked to both coaches. One of the things that we want to take a look at tonight for Lee Summit, because let's be honest, our record is 9-15. We're playing 21-2, Staley, powerhouse. What can the Tigers do to kind of squelch a win from Staley?
It's going to be tough, but you're going to want to put the balls in the hands of your playmakers and see if they can make plays all game.
Yeah, and one of the things that Little was saying is that they just need to slow him down. So we're going to see if that's going to happen. I am just going to do color, and Will's got play-by-play tonight, so here we go.
Staley's going to win the tip-off.
That was Cayenne Evans, who incidentally signed to Colorado State. Actually, he's been signed since August 16th of this year, and right now the guys, I think we're going to see some.
Three, no good. It's Van Pelt on the rebound. They kick it out to Hunter. They pass back to Gatlin Brody. Back to Van Pelt. Back over to Schmidt, who finds Brody. Looking for a way into the lane. Brody, no chance there. He'll get it back to Hunter. Hunter looking to set something up, trying to drive into the lane. Back to Schmidt, who takes a long three, and he drains it.
Yes. Definitely going to need to see a lot of that. Cole Schmidt actually in one of the top scoring categories here in our Silver Conference. He is actually scoring about 103 points thus far, so we definitely need to see a lot of that tonight.
Long three for Staley, no good.
That was taken by Kate
Martinez on the rebound. Pass back to Brody. Brody looking for a way into the lane. Get over to Isaiah Hunter. Back to it. Who puts it up, and no good. Staley on the rebound, taking it down. Looks like they're looking for a fast break. They're slowing the offense down, trying to set up a play here. He's going to fake a shot, drive in for a closer shot, and take the nice two.
Caden Fish actually just found out tonight, I mean, he didn't just sign, but he is going to play on at Iowa State, continuing his basketball career. And he and Cayenne Evans actually play for Mocan Elite, so they definitely have a connection. Speaking of, there he is.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a super talented Staley team, a lot of seniors, so a lot of them, I'm sure, are going to continue their basketball career somewhere else.
Absolutely. That is definitely what Mr. Evans does quite well. He kind of breaks down that interior. He makes it look easy.
He does. So Schmidt looking for a way to the lane, but he can't find one, so he'll pass back to Brody. And just a bad pass there. Elijah Martinez can't grab it, and it's going to go out of bounds on Staley ball.
Which is unfortunate because the last team that the Lee Summit Tigers played, which was Park Hill South, they ended up losing that one 51-68. But part of the reason why they lost, 28 turnovers. So we've got to go ahead and pare that down definitely tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got to be practically flawless to beat this Staley team.
I would agree.
Good defense by Lee Summit. Get the stop there. They're going to turn it around. That's to Hunter. Looking for someone to pass to, but he is swarmed by the Staley defense.
He's already get count for 5.
And he's just going to throw it off the Staley player, get it out of bounds. He couldn't do anything else with that ball.
Yeah, I know, and it's a smart play. He could have easily gotten that 5-count turnover, but he realized it and
just got rid of it.
Pushed it right off of the other player.
Martinez, he's looking for a way into the lane. He's going to try and drive in there. Picks it up, looking for a shot. They are all over him. So we'll pass to Cole Schmidt. He gets it to Van Pelt. Back to Elijah Martinez, who can't hang on to the pass, and he's going to go out of bounds.
Good Lord, I'm telling you, we've got to cut down on those turnovers. We're already 2 with about 4 minutes in already so far, so we've got to cut that down. That's not helping.
They just need to pass better. Like, both turnovers on passes they just couldn't bring in. As Staley hits a long three.
Yeah, that was by KV Stone. Now, he is a junior, so we will definitely be seeing more of him next year. That was a nice floater, not a floater, but a floating three, if you will.
Yeah, with so many seniors on such a talented team, it is nice to see a couple younger guys, even if it is just a junior who will presumably be playing for this program next year. As Galen Brody, no foul called. You think that's the right call, Ms. McDonald?
I have to agree with the foul there, and yeah, and that was Cole. Or is that Cole Schmidt? I could have that wrong. Yeah, Cole. Is it Schmidt or Schmidt?
I think it's Schmidt.
Okay, looks like we've got a typo right here, but yeah, I do think that that was a hard.
Van Pelt. Oh, that was a great look for Van Pelt. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Yeah, that was a little too strong.
Now they're gonna.
Looks like they're back on the fast.
Turn it around. Wide open, and he misses the dunk.
I almost kind of wanted to see him make it. No lie, because that was a great.
As Lee Summit goes for fast break score and no chance. Now Staley back on the attack, and it looks like they're going to try and move fast here before they're fouled.
I tell you what, we have Van Pelt, trying to play against, he is 6'7", and we think he's tall, but he's actually up against Cameron Manu. I'm probably butchering your name, and I'm so sorry. He is 6'9", so.
Manyawu?
Well, I am not sure. Sorry about that for those of you who are listening on the Staley side.
This is a tall Staley team.
Indeed. 6'9".
Call number 1, Larry Parker, his first, team first.
Looks like Staley's going to full-court press here early on in the game.
Which we'll see how the Tigers handle that, because we've had, actually they kind of broke that right quick.
Martinez denied at the rim.
Indeed, there's that 6'9" frame coming in with Cameron Manmayu just taking that, and he made that look easy.
That's classic basketball, just having them big man deflect the shot.
Indeed.
As they take the long pass, they can't secure it, and it's a turnover that's going to lead to an easy fast break point, and he did not miss the dunk that time.
Yeah, Cayenne just had his way with it. They're kind of, it's silly at this, not initially at this point. I mean, we're down 9-3, but it's been a hot minute since we've scored.
I mean, the way it's looking, this game is getting out of hand for Lee Summit fast.
Quickly. So I think Little was also saying one of the things that they can do tonight, if at all possible, is really stick to the fundamentals. Okay, so you know how to dribble the ball, you know how to pass the ball up court, do it. Try not to get frazzled, because they're going to be all up in your grill. And if you're going to be up in your grill, then you're going to get a turnover, and then they're going to score off it, because their transition points are crazy. They score really well in transition.
I think this was good timing on the timeout by Mr. Little. They scored a lot of points in a row in quick succession, so kind of give you guys a chance to breathe, reset the momentum a little bit, see if they can do something here.
Yeah, I was watching a little video on Cayenne Evans, obviously number 0, and then Caden Fish, number 4 for Staley. And they actually, as I said earlier, play together in Mocan Elite. And it's just silly. They just play back and forth with each other. And Cayenne, like I said earlier, he's just super into the interior play. And he just takes it and drives the lane, has no problem. And then we have our,
that's going to be a reach in on Van Pelt.
And he's doing what he can. And I mean, we got to give props for Van Pelt. He is a freshman playing up against a real seasoned senior, and Cameron. We got to figure that out at halftime, so I'm not butchering his last name. And Cameron actually is going to Indiana State, so I mean, all D1 schools that these kiddos are playing at. So. Yeah. Okay, that's a nice showing right there by Cole Schmidt, going ahead and blocking that ball.
And that's going to be another turnover for Lee Summit.
Well, I think it's a foul, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a foul. Cayenne Evans. I'll be fine if he fouls out of the game,
Yeah. Lee Summit will take any advantage they can get, as another fast break for Staley leads to the alley-oop by Manyawu. Missed the first dunk, did not miss there.
No, he definitely did not.
Slam.
And one of the things that we're seeing in Staley right off the bat, first 6 minutes, is they're fearless. They are going to get you, and their defense is smoldering. I mean, it's just all over.
Oh yeah, they're just just going to swarm around you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess considering for a pretty small team, there we go again, it's another turnover. They're doing the best that they can with what they have, and this is good experience for our young players to be able to see, to play against this high caliber team and try to get some experience in that way. Again, stick with those fundamentals, trust in your skills, and see what can come out of it, honestly. It's about pride at this point.
I'm interested. I have my eye on Landon Van Pelt. He's probably not used to playing against one guy that's taller than him, let alone they got two out on the court right now.
Facts. Absolutely.
As Staley looking for a way into the lane, and that's going to be Van Pelt with the rebound. Lee Summit trying to set something up. Figure out. Back to Elijah Martinez. Martinez to Schmidt. Schmidt's going to hold on to it, and he's going to get fouled.
Okay, and that's one thing I've kind of noticed. It's like and I'm not sure we're going to see this on the whole game. I'm not sure that the refs are as consistent as I would like them to be. There's kind of, part of them are letting them play a little bit and doing those reach-in fouls and not calling them, but like just now, he just called that reach-in foul right there.
Yeah, it's been a little inconsistent here early.
So I have no problem. Just go one way or the other and be consistent with it. If you're going to let them play, let them play.
Summit trying to set something up. We'll get it to Schmidt, who didn't like the shot, so he's going to pass it out.
So now we have all seniors. We have two freshmen for Lee Summit High. And Mackay.
And that's going to be a fast break for Staley. He's going to pass it back, and it's just, what is this Lee Summit defense supposed to do?
Yeah, that's hard. All you have to do is keep your chin up. Keep your chin up and do the best you can do. And, at 13-3, I mean, they're doing the best they can. But I'm wondering at some point if we're going to have Cole Schmidt. Okay, and I thought that was a foul.
Yeah.
I thought that was a foul.
I don't know. The refs are going to let this one play through, it looks like.
And, I'm wondering if, Staley obviously has gotten the respect, that I think in some cases they deserve. But I wonder sometimes that they kind of get some calls not called against them necessarily.
Yeah. It seems like early on the plan for Lee Summit has been put the ball in Cole Schmidt's hand, and it just looks like it's not been his night so far.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, I think knowing little the way we do, I know he is definitely trying to get those some of our players right there on the inside, try to establish an inside game, but I'm telling you, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? They just, so they're having their way. They're taller than us and all. I mean, there is no one underneath, with the exception of, I can't see this guy's name. Is that Jonathan Neff? I mean, he's 5'10", but everybody else on the floor, there's no one shorter than 6'2". So that's going to be tough for our team, which, our average, with the exception of Van Pelt at 6'7". Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was reading a note from, I think that's from Carter, that he was talking about that they're going to transition next year because Cole Schmidt would be the only senior next year. Yeah, that defense is, like you said earlier, is just swarming. They can't breathe.
I mean,
cannot breathe.
They're tall, they're fast, they pass well, and they swarm you on defense.
Indeed. I mean, if you're only scoring 3 points in 8 minutes.
There is not an aspect of the game that this team is not going to beat you in.
Yeah, this is, I think, there was some discussion in my advanced sports broadcast class today that they were playing this game at 5:30 because it was going to be a tough game for our team and then our lady.
It is unusual that you see the boys' game before the girls' game.
Indeed, yeah. So they were thinking, well, we might just be a tough game.
I think even the people in charge of scheduling knew this one's going to be an uphill battle.
Indeed. You know what? But at the same token, even if I'm Lee Summit, I'm still just going to try to play my best game, the best that I can with what I've got, and keep on keeping on because you can't just roll over and do nothing. You got to do the best job that you can. So, yeah. And this is nice to see. He's keeping Landon Van Pelt in there. Typically on some of the other games that we've covered this year, he kind of gives him a break.
Well,
but we're not doing that right now.
You're seeing a different lineup on the court each time, and it's a very good mix for this Lee Summit team. Some younger guys, some seniors, and you're definitely going to want to see them at this point in the season transition to those younger guys because you got a lot of departing starters next year.
For real. And Little was talking about this group of seniors as Hunter tries to take the three, doesn't go, that it's a great group of kids. They're really good leaders for the young Tigers. So we will definitely be listing a little bit of that, obviously, next year.
Wide open three for Staley as he's going to, and that's going to be.
I don't know where he is necessarily
18
heading.
to 3 here in the first as they try and pass it back.
So it's almost as if Staley's playing with 6 players as compared to 5. They're so fast, and they get to their player in a hot minute. And everyone's tall, blocking every shot.
Basketball fans, attention, Kelly Cowan, you have a credit card that you left at the West Gate table.
For sure.
Please go get it.
One of the
Kelly Cowan, go get your card.
The Staley team is just big and strong, and they're going to bully you around.
Absolutely. And it's hard not to be good, as we've talked about already, that they've been together for 4 years. So they're bigger, they're taller, they're faster, and the chemistry is there.
Yeah, definitely.
They've actually played also against some pretty tough teams, too. Those are the only 2 losses as we see Kyan Evans try to make a shot from 3. They played that's one team from Calvary Christian in Florida, like one of the top teams in the nation. They ended up losing to them 57 to 64. And I talked to head coach Chris Neff and a foul.
A goaltend, I think.
Is it a foul or a goaltend or both? Can't have both, can you?
Looks like there's going to be a foul. We got a Missouri player, Lee Summit player at the line.
Foul number 3, Cameron Mendenhall, serves team 4. Anthony Carter shooting for the Tigers.
Anyway, back with, as we're watching D'Anthony Carter take a free throw. He sinks that one.
You got to make these shots at the line because it's the only time they're not going to be in your face while you're shooting.
Indeed, indeed.
Carter with the second shot. And it's good.
So Chris Neff back to...
Staley trying to quickly turn around here. Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty solid defense right there. They're doing all they can with that, with our 6'9" player here in Cameron.
And again, it's just strange because it's not often you see the strategy is to go over Van Pelt.
Yeah, exactly.
A 6'7" man. Not a lot of players can do that, except for Staley's Jordan Cameron Manyawu. He's now at the line. This is his first attempt.
I'll take that. 18 to 5. 5 points. Bless him.
Anthony Carter has the ball. He's going to take it up the court. Pass to Isaiah Hunter. Back to Carter. He finds Van Pelt. He's going to take it in and try and go up. And it's no good off the backboard.
I know that might be a good play though. If he wants to do that hook.
Yeah.
That might be the only way we get an opportunity to score. So I say don't give up.
On the hook shot.
Yeah, don't stop doing that.
Staley puts it, and it's no good. And another.
He looks like Carter was looking for an outlet pass to Mackay, and then he just couldn't get it through the trees to get it to him. Did you see that?
That's just another thing Staley does that puts more pressure on you is they're going to full court press you. So the moment you put your hands on the ball, it's in danger.
Indeed.
They're going to try and poke it out there.
Patrick Yoakley checking in for the Tigers.
And there's Patrick Yorkley. The student section absolutely loves this man. Patrick Yorkley, crowd favorite.
Hey, if we can get him to score a couple times from outside, that would be amazing. Definitely need some scoring here.
Staley trying to push it in, and he's just going to walk right up and lay
Look
it up.
at Gatlin Brody with the rebound in the sea of trees over there. Gets that outlet pass.
It's strange because you've seen a pretty balanced game when, I think looking at the rebounds, you've seen both teams come down with these rebounds. And with a height difference between the two teams, you should see Staley be coming down with a lot more of these rebounds.
Yeah, say that again because I couldn't hear Mr. Melody.
Both teams seem pretty evenly matched in the rebounds department, which is strange because you got a much taller Staley team that should be able to get to the ball first. So that's just effort from the Lee Summit Tigers here to jump up and grab those balls before Staley can get to it.
Yeah, we've got about 4:55 left in the first half. Clearly the ball, nice block. Oh, heavens to Betsy.
And cameraman Yabu is blocked.
How many times are we going to be able to say that tonight?
I don't know.
But I'll take it, right? I'll take it. He goes out for a break. But he looks fresh. He doesn't look like he needs to be taking a break. My sneaky suspicion is that we're going to see them as one of the top 4 teams at state this year, which, by the way, districts don't start until a week from Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday. All held at William Chrisman, and Little is thinking maybe Lee Summit High could be seeded anywhere from 5, 6, or 7.
Yeah.
That was on number 1, Larry Harper, his second, team 6.
Well, if this team is number 4, I don't.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
There. Scotland Brody looking to inbound the ball. Yeah, he had nowhere to go with that ball.
It's like they were trying to get, like, not a trick play, but.
And it just seems like everything Staley does is working.
Yeah, and he's a freshman. He's 6'7", so he might be Cameron's replacement moving into next year. I'm sorry, not a freshman, a sophomore. I apologize.
Well, when you've got an 18-point lead here in the first, that's the luxury you have. You can give some minutes to those freshmen.
Yeah, or the underclass, and I misspoke. He is a sophomore, so he does not have a freshman on his varsity squad, whereas we have several.
Yeah.
So we are rebuilding, much like Neff had been rebuilding for the last 2 or 3 years.
But I mean, you're seeing this strong performance from this freshman class on the Lee Summit team as Staley gets the rebound, puts it up. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if Landon Van Pelt is going to be playing this entire game. I mean, who is going to be our replacement when and if he... See, it's his third.
I mean,
that's his third team. That's third. He only has 2 more until he fouls out, and there goes our height.
Van Pelt?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're going to want him in as much as possible. I mean, in this game, there's nothing like a truly dominant big man, and Lee Summit is hoping that Van Pelt can be theirs.
Yeah, it's like he was taking a risk by having him play as many minutes as he has had him play, because like I said earlier, we had not seen him play consistent, solid minutes like this earlier in the year.
But the flashes we have seen of him have been great, so.
See, and I thought that was a foul. So he just stopped right there, and he ran right into him. And I think they're getting the respect of being one of the better teams in the state. But to me, I just feel like if you're fouled and you're sitting right there and you're putting your chest into the other player, that to me is a foul. I don't care who you are. Nice little behind the back pass.
Yeah. Good block by Staley.
But, Cole was trying to do the right thing. He was waiting so he could actually, get the layup here. He was letting him fly right by.
Yeah.
A Top Gun reference. But they're able to recover, meaning Staley. I mean, super fast, super quick, super tall.
Super smart.
And look at our players. They're winded. They're just going up and down the court. Yeah. Staley's looking fresh. We're exhausted.
A lot of hands on knees for this Lee Summit Tiger team.
We got 3:09 left in the second half.
First half.
Sorry, thank you, Will.
Rebound for Staley, and it looks like they're going on another quick fast break. Pass to the outside. Pass set up a shot in the middle, and it's good.
And they're doing what they can. I mean, you can't play any better defense than that other than getting a foul called on us, which we're going to get, and they are not, so.
Summit to the corner. Nicole Schmidt with the ball. Looking to drive it in. He's going to hold on to it, try and set something up. They're trying to drive into the lane. Good pass. Open three.
That's short.
No good. Nice quick break, and they just.
I'll take that turnover. I'll take it on the Staley side.
I think the reason you're seeing so many Lee Summit players winded is because this Staley team is just creating a lot of fast break opportunities. They run the ball back down the court quick.
Yeah, they score a lot of their points off that transitions. And actually, it's 24-5. I mean, we're lucky that it's not more than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a It's a blowout, but I mean, it looks like it should be worse.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to the student section for showing up tonight. We appreciate it. Loving the support.
Student section looking for anything to cheer for in this game.
Uh-oh.
Asher Martinez misses the dunk.
Okay, so at this point, I think we just need to be scoring points, not trying to do a dunk. You know what I mean? Because that kind of deflates a little bit. Nice, Gatlin Brody, and a huge rebound, right, in the first quarter, and then he does a little block.
Asher Martinez with the pass to Cole Schmidt.
Wow, we have a lid on our basket. We have a lid on our basket at this point.
Yeah. Some of it's the Staley defense and some of it's bad luck, but the shots just are not falling today.
Indeed.
Martinez takes a long three, and that's going to be no good. As here comes Staley. Wide open three, and he's going to take it easy. He made it look easy there.
Yeah, he did. This is like a walk in the park, like barely a scrimmage. I hate to say it, you know, for our Lee Summit High Tiger fans, but they're trying. It's like our legs. Oh lordy.
And sweet, sassy, relaxing slam dunk.
And that was the sophomore from Staley High School, Xavier Wilson.
Staley just looks like they're playing this game on easy mode. Everything they're doing
55 seconds left in the first half. We are down 24 points.
Patrick Yorkley makes a three.
All right, we scored some points. Mr. Yokley, that's what you were hoping, right?
Yeah, this Lee Summit crowd going wild at scoring points. Staley drops another two. Martinez, he's got Gatlin Brody. He's got finds D'Anthony Carter down court. Brody looking for a shot. He's going to send it to Patrick Yorkley. Yorkley to Carter, who drops the ball,
goodness.
back up.
Ill-advised
Stolen by
pass.
Staley. He's going to go on a fast break. And I don't even think this Lee Summit doesn't even look like they're trying to catch up anymore. Long three, and it's good!
We'll take the three. I mean, if there's one Lee Summit Tiger that had a good half, it would be Gatlin Brody for his height.
I mean, something to celebrate here.
Indeed.
As we head into the locker room.
Not much too. Prior to us taking a break here in halftime, we do want to send out our deepest condolences to the Stone family. We lost one of our very own this week, yesterday, in an absolutely horrific accident. Just wanted to let Stone and Scott and Braden and our whole Lee Summit community know that we are thinking of them, and we will definitely miss Miss Rachel Stone, one of the best PE teachers here at Lee Summit High. Yeah, so we'll come back here in about 9 minutes, and we'll see you back then.
welcome back from halftime. If you're just joining us, it looks like some of the student section has already started heading towards the exit.
Indeed, and
Not
well,
particularly close
I-
today.
it's not quite that bad, but it's definitely not our best showing this year so far
Yeah.
against the number 2 ranked team in the state. That said, let's talk about some highlights. Gatlin Brody's had a really great first half. He is a sophomore, and he had a really great defensive presence and didn't give up. And Yoakley scored a 3, so that's good. It's positive. So we just need to keep on keeping on. So Van Pelt sadly does have 3. He's our tallest player, youngest player, freshman, next to Mackay. And he has 3 personal fouls. So I'm a little concerned about losing him because at that point, that's when we really start losing height, correct?
Yeah.
So it looks like Staley is starting off with their same starting lineup.
They're going to get the rebound or not.
I'm telling you, the ball is not safe in your hand. Do not assume that just because you have it in possession that they're not going to come and try to swipe it away.
Yeah.
Because they will. That defense, oh, goodness gracious.
Up 20. I mean, I know we just got back from half, but do you think they have too big of a lead? They should start considering pulling back on the full court press?
Oh, indeed. But you know what? I'm telling you, I bet you Chris Neff has trained these kiddos to probably go hard all the time, and that's why they don't look winded at all.
They do not look winded at all. They look like they're going to go play for 4 quarters and not 2 halves.
Hey, we have had a steal here. We'll take that as a positive right there for sure.
The ball. That pass. Staley tries to poke it free. He'll find Isaiah Hunter. He's nowhere to go with it. He's got Elijah Martinez.
That's his first points of the game.
That's a name we haven't said a lot, and he's been the biggest name on this Tiger basketball team all season.
Indeed, he is.
Staley really doing a good job of keeping him quiet.
Yeah, he is 5th on the scoring list here for our Suburban Conference at 166 total points. So yeah, that his first points of the game.
Brody.
I'm telling you, Evans, point guard, you gotta be careful. And for a really tall 6'9" center, he moves very quickly.
Yeah.
Cameron Manianu. I'm sure I butchered his name.
This whole team moves just quickly.
Yeah, it seriously, it's like they're up and down the court in less than 2 seconds. Maybe less than that, actually, to be honest. Yeah, so again, we've got several players from Staley who are playing D1. We've got, again, Kyan Evans is signed at Colorado State, Cameron Mamanu is at Indiana State, and Caden Fish at Iowa State. So we're definitely up against some D1 players that were signed pretty early on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really talented Staley team. And there's the dunk.
Yeah, I might put money if I was a betting girl that Staley is going to be in that, at least in the championship game here at State. All the time.
And they could not be running into districts with any more momentum.
Yeah,
I mean, 5
absolutely.
straight wins, and looks like they're cruising to a 6th.
Yeah, and honestly, their only 2 losses are against, as we said earlier, the best basketball teams in the country, let alone. And we got freshman Mackay.
Van Pelt to Mitchell. Back to Van Pelt. Who puts him in?
Yes, if he could say, "Oh yeah, I scored on one of the best players on the Staley High School basketball team." Good for him.
I gotta say, if nothing else, tonight has been a good showing from some of the younger players, Van Pelt and Brody.
Yeah, and they're not giving up.
Pretty good games.
They're really not giving up, and that's all you can do is just play the best you can within your. Number 5 for Staley. That was Jared Lee. He literally wasn't even looking at the ball, and he got the steal.
Yeah. Long range pass to Brody. To Schmidt.
Yeah.
So Martinez, who can't find a way into the lane. He's going to cross court. Back to Brody. Over.
We've got about 4 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Takes a pass. Martinez. Cross court to Brody. Brody. Cross court to Martinez. To Van Pelt. Back to Brody, who's got a shot. And he just misses it.
You know, they got to keep trying, though. So, my son used to play basketball, and he was point guard and three-point shooter. He's keep shooting. Just like Staley continues to do, and they are hitting and we are not. That was Caden Fish. Oh, the reserves. The reserves are coming.
Looks like they're...
Yeah, we're at 46-15 with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left to go, so he is giving his star players a rest.
Yeah, I mean...
Deion Burns is coming in, number 21, 5'11". He is a senior.
Points.
Oops, you're on my court.
So
That's okay. And then there's another player here, number 23, which I don't show him on the roster. So I'm not quite sure who he is. Sorry. For those of you watching over in Staley, I'm not quite sure what his name is.
23. Oh, just unable to complete that pass.
Hate to see those turnovers
Yeah.
for Staley.
That could really start to hurt them in the long run. I mean, you're only up 24 points. You can't risk turnovers like that. Back to Schmidt. To Brody. To Schmidt. Trying to set something up. Back to Brody. Back to Schmidt. Looks like they're playing a game of catch out there.
Yeah, and you know what this reminds me of, and I'm sure nobody knows, or possibly some of you do know, but Lathrop Ball. He's a longtime coach at Raytown South.
Tries to dribble it in, gets it back to Brody. He tries for Yorkley, but the pass is taken by Staley. He's going on a fast break. In the middle, that's going to be foul on the Summit.
Yeah, probably getting Brody actually. There wasn't much more that he could do, to stop the person who was a foot taller than him from scoring.
Yeah.
So he just fouled him. Oh, yes, we are at 2 minutes and 47 seconds left in the third quarter. Cayenne Evans passing that ball in.
Pretty short third quarter thus far.
And why don't they stop the ball if it goes off the foot of the player?
Yeah.
They stop the play, but not that time apparently.
I think the refs might just want to go home early with this one. Might be a little more lenient here in the second half.
I'm telling you, like I said, that ball, just because it's in your hand, does not mean that you have the ball. They are on you like white on rice. Their defense is impeccable.
And it does seem like Staley is pulling back on their press a little bit. They're
Yeah.
still hard pressing, just not as hard. If I'm Brody, he gets it up to Schmidt, who's got Yorkley. And Yorkley. Patrick Yorkley's got the best three ball on this team.
Well, he's scoring, which is definitely what we need. Oh my goodness. A rare mistake by the Staley Falcons, letting that ball head on out of bounds, but give a little break. Cole Schmidt taking a seat. Carter coming in for Schmidt.
Do you think it's possible later into this game that they start to pull some of the starters and give the young guys just some minutes?
For Tigers?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not sure about that. We'll see, won't we? We've got about 1:27 left in the third quarter. Tigers are down by a lot. 30 points.
Who misses the layup? Rebounded by Minyalu. Staley taking their time here. up in the middle, wide open three, and he's gonna miss it. Rebounded by Manyawu. He misses the layup and puts it his own rebound and puts it right back out.
He had like what, 4 opportunities that forget that put back basket
Well, I mean,
because
when
6'9".
you're 6'9" and you're that tall, you can just
Yeah.
basically be like, oh, I'll grab it.
And then Van Pelt, he couldn't do anything because he has 3 fouls. So all he could do is stand up straight.
Trying to charge his way in, and he gets denied by Manyawu. I don't think there's
A rare offensive foul
on Staley.
on Staley. I'll take it.
Yeah. I don't think there's a Staley player right now that isn't having a great game. I mean,
They're doing exactly what you thought they were going to do. We've got our seniors coming in for Lee Summit High. Yeah, we've got Porter coming in, who very rarely gets to see a little bit of time, but we're going to put him in, Jalen Porter.
well, it is your last home game in a rebuilding year. It's getting kind of out of hand.
And then Tate Alexander is in, number 20, as a sophomore.
And it looks like this freshman team is starting to
I'll take
move
that.
on.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, he almost made that ball. Yeah, that was a nice end to the third quarter with Jalen Porter going in. He was able to use his body. He's got a little more girth on there, and he's a little bit faster than Landon Van Pelt to kind of, you know what I mean, to kind of move, and he doesn't have any fouls.
Yeah.
So he can go ahead and,
Be interesting if that was just for that or if they keep that freshman lineup out there.
yeah, and, you know, at this point, you're right. We're probably not, we're down 30. Got one more quarter to go. Give some of these kids, like you said earlier, some experience against a really, really good team.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine what Blake Little is drawing up here. His advice or what his game plan, as I said earlier, was to try to slow him down, but I don't know that that's necessarily happened.
Yeah. I got to imagine if you're going with a new lineup, you got to treat this like a new game.
Right. Yeah. I did
See
ask.
if you can win this fourth quarter.
I did ask Chris Neff. I said, "Hey, what was? I mean, you have a 21-2 team. What has been an obstacle for you?" And he said, "You know, because sometimes I get a little frustrated when sometimes the kids don't play the right way. Maybe not team ball." And he said they're kind of more concerned with the score than they are playing some of that fundamental basketball. But the right way seems to be working for him at this moment in time. So.
As DeAndre Carter slips and falls, as that is fouled by Staley.
Yeah, and this is Larry Parker, number 1.
Larry Parker, his third, team third.
I don't know that I've seen him score much today, have you?
I have not. I think this is his first time out on the court.
Yeah, I know he started, but he hasn't been as much of a eye-opener as Cayenne and Caden over here. Tate Alexander. Oh.
Alexander with the point.
Indeed, and yeah, sophomore action here. I mean, you might as well just keep playing the best you can. That's all you can do. And then, at what point, if you're Staley, are you putting in your reserve players? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, didn't you just say it? These guys go out there to have fun. They're going to want to run up the scores. So I imagine these starters are going to want to play for as long as they can.
Right. Although he does have a couple players in there that are not Cayenne or Caden. Or wait a minute, that's probably not accurate. Yeah, Cayenne or Caden are not in there.
Dribble into the lane. And it looks like getting a fresh team out there has really reinvigorated this Tigers lineup.
Yeah.
We're starting to move the ball again. Haven't seen that in a while.
They seem a little bit faster than their other teammates. And honestly, in their defense, they were running up and down that court like none other. I mean, they were tired. They're worn out.
Staley passes to the corner.
We wish we knew who that player was, number 23, but we don't. Well, there he goes, Mr. Parker scoring.
shot, no good. Staley trying to create a fast break. Passes it back. And no resistance as he just drives into the lane.
That he did.
2 easy points.
That was Jared Lee, but he didn't make the basket, so.
Almost had another open look there for Lee Summit. Good speed to get up there and block that shot. Carter looking for a pass. He's got one. He's going to take it past. Wide open three. He's going to take his time with the shot, and it's going to bounce out of the rim.
Yeah, that was a good shot, though. It was a good-looking shot and a great pass by Mackay. That was probably a freshman-sophomore duo that we're going to see quite a bit more of next year. Obviously, sophomore-junior connection.
I mean, it is a positive sign. And even in a blowout loss, you put the starters in, and they're starting to perform here.
Right, right.
That's a long three.
Yeah, he makes it. Yeah, he's been our savior. Looks like he's holding his side though, like he may have been, got jabbed in the ab.
30-second timeout called by the Tigers.
So the other loss Staley incurred was with Vashon, and they actually played them pretty tough. I mean, they lost to them in overtime, and that was I was talking again to Chris Neff, and he was talking about how they had, when they played that game, they had played 17 games, like almost back to back, and then they played them, and they just happened to lose, in overtime. Another good team. So that's part of another reason why they're probably playing so well, is that they keep playing all of these games. They're well-traveled, well-played, well-coached. They're scoring like crazy.
Yeah, this is
tough team to beat.
This is probably not one of the best teams in the state. This is one of the better teams in the country.
I would agree.
With Staley.
Like I was saying, although he's not on the court right now, I don't think. Cayenne Evans, I guess his nickname is the Junkyard Dog, because he just goes to town on the inside. So we do have about 4 minutes left to go in the game. We are 54-25. Staley up.
They're trying to drive into the lane, and that's going to be a charging on Staley.
So it looks like he called it on Lee Summit Tigers, though, on number 20. Yeah, on Tate. Yeah, he was kind of moving. He did get his feet set.
They pass it in.
Oh, whoops.
Stolen.
I don't know what happened there. He was like, here, take the ball from it. Staley gave it to Lee Summit. That was his charity gift.
Yeah, maybe he felt a little pity.
Yeah.
You can have this one throw in. Staley takes it right back.
Yeah.
He's going to march down the field and put up an easy layup.
Indeed, indeed.
This Staley team is not slowing down.
And no matter what player they have on the court, it doesn't matter if they're star players or, you know what I mean?
I think that speaks to Coach Neff and the talent he's put on this team and the way he coaches it.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is our players need to be ready for a pass. Like Eli just tried to pass that into Van Pelt, and Van Pelt was like, what? What do I do with this? So
you mentioned earlier in the broadcast 28 turnovers last week, and a lot of these turnovers are coming on just
silly
communication. And so Elijah Martinez can't get it to fall.
Number 35, Xavier Wilson, taking that foul there. He is, remember, one of the sophomores on the team.
It is interesting. It looks like they pulled the freshman group and put their starters back out there. As Van Pelt heads to the line.
And kudos to him. I mean, we're still in the fourth quarter, and he's still on the floor playing with, 3 fouls, right?
He's been a pretty bright spot for this Tigers team. A lot
Yeah.
of the younger guys have been bright spots in this game. Obviously, you haven't seen a lot on the scoreboard, but in the other areas of the game, the rebounds, the defense, they've been there.
Oh, my. We've got about 2 minutes left here in third quarter. Van Pelt ready to score.
And it's good. Staley taking it in. He's going to pass. He had a wide open three.
number 11 is the smallest on the team at 5'10" for Staley.
Gonna be John Neff.
I think it says Neff, but I can't tell because it's so dark here. You know what I mean? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
And the shot is good.
Jalen Porter checking in for the Tigers.
Jalen Porter.
Ooh, so it's a running clock because they're beating us so bad. So the clock is continuing to run.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
clock
Falcon
has
who shall remain
stopped.
unnamed.
The clock has stopped stopping as we near the end of this one.
Connor Kiley.
Oh, T-Mart's going in for us.
the Tigers.
T-Mart, one of our advanced sports broadcasters, plays on JV.
We used to play Little League ball with Tate Martin. Hard worker. The Summit. Looks like they're trying to put some more points on the board. Make this a little more respectable. There's a wide open three. And he nails it.
There we go. There you go. Connor Kiley taking that three. Got to score a couple points here, so we're not going to make it look as bad with 41 seconds left to go.
Well, it looks like Staley wants to run up the score here. Passes it back. Drives into the lane, puts it up, and it's good. Staley not letting up even for a moment here.
Indeed, and you know, it's because they're playing his next players for next year, so got to give him some, just like we are, got to give him some opportunity.
As he speeds down the court. Takes it in. And misses the shot. But Staley looks like they're going to get the rebound. Oh, it's Tate Martin on the rebound.
5 seconds left.
He's trying to speed down the court. Long shot, and it's
Well, that was probably one of the fastest basketball games I've ever commentated. Not much to say. Staley's good.
Staley is very good.
Yeah, so we may be back for a live stream here in the spring. We're going to be taking some girls soccer for sure on the live stream. Coming up next, for those of you who are not concerned, but the girls are coming up, but we are not live streaming that game. But final score was what, 59-29? Was that what I saw? And I'm Elaine McDonald.
I'm Will Twinter.
And we'll see you guys coming up in the spring. Have a good night.